This is the homework video for Tuesday, 5/2. You're in the Unit 8 homework packet, page 5, number 5 and 6. So the first one is asking you about which ones are rational or irrational, and there's going to be a couple secret messages. The first one is that I want you to write down the definition of a rational number. Write down the definition of a rational number. Hopefully you know it. But just in case you don't, I'm going to tell you a rational number is a number that can be written as a fraction. A rational number is a number that can be written as a fraction. Okay, so here we go. First they're asking us about negative 13 over third, and guess what? It's written as a fraction, so clearly it's rational. The second one is 1,234 10,000ths, which can be written as a fraction. It would look like this, 1,234 over 10,000. And because I can write that as a fraction, it is rational. The third one is square root 37, and I cannot write that as a fraction because I know that it's a little more than 6. It's probably around 6.1. But there is no exact number times itself that will be exactly equal to 37, so the square root of 37 is irrational. And the next one is negative 77. I could write that as a fraction. I would just do this, negative 77 over 1. And there I go. And then the next one is the opposite of the square root of 100. And the second secret message is that when you see a negative in front of a square root sign, you read it as the opposite of. So this is the opposite of the square root of 100. Make sure you write that down. When you see a negative in front of a square root sign, you read it as the opposite of the square root of 100. Well, the square root of 100, 10 times 10 is 100, and the opposite of that is negative 10, and I can write negative 10 as a fraction. I just do this, negative 10 over 1, boom. And then the last one is the square root of 12. I know it's somewhere between 3 and 4, but there's no exact number that if I multiply it by itself would be equal to the square root of 12. So the opposite of the square root of 12 is an irrational number. And that's it on that one. 2 secret messages for that part. And then the last one is just asking you, what is the best explanation for why the opposite of the square root of 10 is irrational? Well, the opposite of square root of 10 is irrational because it's not rational. The number multiplied by itself that equals exactly 10 can't be written as a fraction because it's some decimal that goes on and on and on and on forever with no pattern. And so you can't write a number like that as a fraction, and so that means it's not rational, and if it's not rational, it must be irrational. That's it for tonight. Have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow.